Hey everyone, welcome to Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Now, in this video, I'm going to discuss the just released interview in Entertainment Weekly with Radio Silence, who, of course, are the directors of Scream 6. Now, during this interview, we will hear about life on the set while filming the movie and their initial feelings about the finished product we will be seeing in theaters on March 10th. Now, in addition to this great insight from Radio Silence, we are also treated to an exclusive, never-before-seen, officially released image from the film, which is by far my most favorite yet. And the implications of this photo could be far-reaching. So far-reaching that it is literally reaching back in time. Let's go! So the Entertainment Weekly article leads with the following headline: See a new look Ghostface mask in exclusive Scream 6 photo. The directors of the horror franchise's sixth entry talk about their new face of terror, the return of Hayden Panettiere, and the departure of Neve Campbell. So in the Scream 6 trailer that we got, we have our first true taste of what it will feel like to see Scream in New York, and it already looks amazing. Now, while speaking with Entertainment Weekly, co-director Tyler Gillett said the following: "They've all come to New York to go to school. One of the things that was so exciting to us was bringing this story and bringing this slasher icon into a new location. I think across the board, for the writers, Guy and Jamie as well, this was such a fun opportunity to explore what that would feel like, bringing the world of Scream into that setting. The teaser is a good example of how we're having fun with that throughout the movie. That is one of many sequences in the movie that uses the city to its benefit and in surprising and thrilling ways." Okay, so they've all come to New York to go to school. That's interesting to me because we've speculated for a while. I've been like, well, I figured Tara made sense. Even Chad and Mindy made sense, but Sam was the one I was curious about because being so much older. Of course, you know, school has no age. Trust me, I more than anyone know that and understand that very well for myself. So I know that when it comes to college and secondary education, it doesn't matter what your age is. So, but you know, it just seemed like I always thought maybe Sam was going to move to New York to be the protector, kind of keeping an eye out over Tara, watching out for her. But according here to Tyler, they've all come to New York to go to school. So maybe Sam says, I'm going to be so protective that I am literally going to go to class with you. And it looks like that's what's going to happen. And then what I also thought was really cool was the second part here, talking about how, you know, the teaser is one of many sequences. The subway is one of many sequences in the movie that uses the city really to its benefit in surprising and thrilling ways. That's awesome. That's exciting. Because again, gosh, guys, you know, if you've been here for a while, if you're new here, you'll find out. One of the things they've been talking about is wanting to see alleyways, like alley chases, wanting to see chases through skyscrapers, right? Through office buildings, through the New York, of course, the subway, of course, which we know now we're getting that for sure, which is awesome. And just the settings, right? The city, the downtown feel of New York that we're going to have in this movie to really use the city as its own character. You know, it just make it like its own character in the movie, and you just bounce off that. And I love to see Tyler here commenting on that's really what they're doing. They're using the city to its benefit in surprising ways. So that's exciting. So I'm very pumped to see exactly what other surprises they have in store for us with the cityscape, and the landscape of the city. It's going to be awesome. Now, regarding our two legacy characters, which we have Kirby, of course, coming back, from Scream 4. And we have one OG returning. We have Gale, of course, back. Matt Bettinelli-Olpin had this to say about Gale. He said, "It's always good to see Gale Weathers and how her life has evolved. It's really nice to see Gale in her element in New York." And this also gets me excited because what I've been thinking is, and saying for a while, is I want to see the Gale Weathers of the first 3 Scream films back. That first trilogy in 1, 2, and 3, in my opinion, were Gale Weathers' strongest movies as far as the character goes. And I've missed, like in 4, and she still had some of that in 4 too. She does have some fire in 4, without a doubt. You know, I still got it, my Tarnished brand, right? Remember, she's got it, right? It's still there. But even 4, it was a step down because she was in that weird spot with Dewey where they weren't working together like they had in the past. And so it was kind of just a unique scenario. But those first 3 movies, Gale was just hammering it. It was about Gale Weathers getting the story, making things happen, being obnoxious if she needs to be, whatever it takes. And personally, that's the Gale Weathers I want back in 6. And this commentary makes me think we have a shot, especially when he says it's nice to see her in her element in New York. And I think if we get that fiery Gale Weathers back, and who's hitting on all cylinders like the original trilogy, I think it could be a fun movie. We could be in for some great scenes, great memories already for this iconic character in the franchise. So go Gale, let's hit it. Now, again, Kirby's also back from Scream 4, as I mentioned. And regarding Kirby, the character of Kirby, Tyler said that, quote, "She was wonderful. She was really great. It was fun to have her around and tell us about Scream 4. She had a lot of great stories she got to share. It's the Scream family. It's continuing to grow for us." So I love hearing this, you know, that we're getting that behind the scenes stories for Matt and Tyler. And remember, when they were doing 5, they were routinely, in an interview, they said they were always asking for Nev's input, for Gale's input, for Courtney, for that case, and Courtney, Nev, and David's input. You know, well, what do you think for this character? What would this character do here? And all those type things. So we have Kirby in the mix now, and it looks like she's been really sharing and pouring herself out from the Scream 4 film. And knowing this is connected with 4, which, you know, we know they told us that we need to watch Scream 4. So I'm excited to see where that goes. That may open up a lot of things for us in the story. And I'm sure once the movie comes out, we can all look and reflect back and see what those moments may have been. But good stuff. I love to hear that. And it is now, you know, the Scream family. And when you hear those kind of words, kind of like here on the channel, I say we're a community, we're a family. It means something. And so I'm excited to see that they're using that language also. All right. Now, the newcomer to the cast for Scream 6 that I am most excited about, as you guys know, is Samara Weaving. She's an absolutely powerhouse actor. Such a good job. And I'm very, very excited to see her in this film. Now, Matt and Tyler were asked if they could reveal anything about her role in the film, to which they responded, quote, "She's in the movie," jokes Matt and Bettinelli-Olpin, "we can't really because of spoiler stuff. But we've been wanting to work with Samara again since the minute we wrapped on Ready or Not. So it's just such a joy to get her out to Montreal to shoot with us." And so really what he's saying is the only thing they can say about Samara is that, quote, "she's in the movie. And we really can't because of spoiler stuff." Now, this comment about spoiler stuff really makes me curious, guys, because could it be because she's a Ghostface killer, or she's the opening kill, which I really don't think she's the opening kill. I initially did, but I don't think so anymore, because she was on set filming in Montreal for, I think it was like 3 weeks. It was a considerable amount of time, way too long for an opening kill in 15 minutes. That would not take that many days. So I'm convinced she's not the opening kill. I think there has to be more for her character than that. And because he won't even like expand on what she's doing because he's already saying it'd be too much spoilers. So I don't know. It really has me going on this idea that maybe she's a killer, or maybe she's so central to this story in some way that we don't know about yet, that to reveal information about her is literally spoiling things. So to me, it's one of those two at this point, most likely. But I cannot wait to find out in March. And listen, I'm going to have a lot of theory videos coming out in the next few weeks leading up to March, including talking about Samara's character. So just stay tuned for that, guys. This is all just getting started. And also, we find out next that Roger L. Jackson is indeed confirmed to return as the voice of Ghostface, which absolutely has to be, and I'm so glad it is, fantastic news. You can't have a Scream movie without Roger L. Jackson. I mean, seriously, he has been the voice of Ghostface now. This will be for 6 movies, every entry in the franchise for the films. So that's fantastic news. Now, there's 2 more things real quick I'm going to mention before I wrap up. First of all, this is what I've been so excited about and discussing on the channel since the leaked images came out a couple of weeks ago. And that is the aged OG Ghostface mask. Now, included in this article is this glorious image of Ghostface wearing an OG mask. That's right, the cracked mask, old, aged, crusty looking mask. It's beautiful. And this mask is not a year old. Come on, man. This is a 20-year-old looking mask. 20 plus years. Absolutely. And I'm going to be doing videos of mask comparisons soon, especially now that I have this image. It's even better. So I'm going to be putting out some videos where I'm going to dive into all the previous masks, and we're going to do side-by-side comparisons. So get ready. It's coming soon, but I don't have it quite ready yet. But this, and I'm glad, because this image here is absolutely fantastic. So the possibilities are endless and amazing that someone from the past could be back, guys, wearing their mask. I wonder who that could be. Maybe so. We'll have to wait and see. All right. Now, regarding the mask, Tyler said this. It will all make sense in the context that you see it in the movie, says Gillette. That was another one of the really interesting risks and creative approaches in this movie. It's meta in a different way, and the mask very much factors into that. It was not an arbitrary choice, says Bettinelli Open. So, okay, meaning they didn't just sit around and say, oh, you know what, it'll be fun. Let's just throw an OG mask in here and, get all the feel, hit all the legacy fans in the feels. No, not at all. And I'm very excited that they're saying this type of language, because it says it's really interesting risks and creative approaches in the movie, and it was not arbitrary. So this was something that was not just flippant. They are doing it very intentional, purposeful, and it's meaningful to the movie. So much so that the title card on the teaser trailer literally is the aged mask behind the title. So they're putting it up front and center. And by the way, the first poster they just released, the aged mask, not the clean new mask, which we know is going to be used also. It's that OG mask. So there is something to the storyline that's essential and important for this mask. And that's where we're going to have fun theorizing for 3 months, because there's a lot of ways you could take it in a lot of different directions. All right. Now, finally, guys, for the video, last topic. I know it's a little long, but this is a big update. Finally, they do touch on the absence of Neve Campbell and how it affected the story. And Tyler had this to say. While Gillett admits Campbell's departure affected the script greatly, he argues that there is a silver lining to the actress's absence evident in the movie's depiction of the young survivors from the previous film, or as I like to say, the Core Four. We love Neve, and we're huge fans of Sidney Prescott, says the director. But it felt like there's an opportunity to really dig into this new crop of characters, and I think people will be really surprised and pleased with how successfully this movie does that. All right, so Couple of things. The first thing to me that's the most glaring thing to mention is when he comments that Nev's departure affected the script greatly. Now, this really stinks, guys. Honestly, I hate to see that. And it also explodes what has been a long-running rumor that she was only going to appear at the very end for, a quick cameo phone call as a kind of a cliffhanger into 7. Well, that's absolutely, we can say that rumor is not true, because that affecting the script greatly is more than a 30-second, 60-second cameo. That's something you just delete off the end of your script. But the fact that it affected the script greatly, and that means it calls them to have to go back and do a lot of rewrites. So the thing that's sad about it all is that we're not going to get that first version. It makes me sad because I've talked about that before. We're never going to get to see the intended version of Scream 6 that Guy and James had wrote and that wanted to give us. So what we're going to see in March is at least the second version of the movie, after what looks to be now were substantial rewrites. As Tyler said, the script was greatly impacted. So, it doesn't mean it's going to be bad. It's just it's kind of like Scream 3, right? We had to get the second version of it because they had to axe the whole idea. At that time was Stu returning. So we're waiting for him to return again, and I think he will soon. But the point is, there had to be some changes made. So we'll never know what that first, well, maybe we will one day, but it's probably a long time before we ever know what that first version would have looked like with Nev in the movie. But you know what? Scream 7, keep your fingers crossed. It could still happen. All right. But I'm still going in with this with high hopes for this movie. I am. The teaser got me very pumped up. It looks great. Everything about the teaser trailer I liked. There's nothing I didn't like about it. And so I think that the cast they're bringing in, Samara's Weaving and Kirby, everything. It's really, to me, got potential to be really good. I think it has the potential to be a lot better than 5. So I'm very, very excited about this. All right. Now, guys, I'm going to leave it there, but I want to know what you think about this amazing article and the new OG, or I should say the new, quote, old OG mask in the Ghostface picture. What are your thoughts? What are your ideas and theories as you're processing all this information? Start leaving me your comments below now. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it together. And I want to engage with you in the comments. So please leave a comment and let's start discussing it now. All right, guys, that's it for this update. I'm going to be back soon, though, with more Scream 6 and other horror movie content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, this is Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Thank you for watching.